Let me start this episode with a question that might sting a little. How does a strand of hair become a national emergency only when it grows from Meghan Markle's head? Oh, don't worry, we're going there today. Because the British media didn't just show their bias this week. They embroidered it, framed it, spotlighted it, and served it on a silver platter. Imagine this. A woman, a mother, spends her day baking cookies for families in need. And the press reacts like she showed up with a flamethrower. Volunteering? Ignored. Kindness? Dismissed. Cookies for the community? Not interesting. But her hair? Oh, stop everything. Sound the alarm. Call the hygiene police. Activate DEFCON 1. Because apparently when Meghan Markle's hair exists in the same room as a tray of cookies, the media loses structural integrity. Meanwhile, Kate Middleton has cooked with hair swishing like she's filming a Pantene commercial in a community kitchen. And the headlines call her a breath of fresh air. Two women, same action, two very different reactions. My darlings, this isn't a story about food. This isn't a story about hair. This is a story about the double standards so loud you can hear them over the sound of a whisk. And tonight, we're not easing into this. We're not tiptoeing. We are slicing right through the hypocrisy with a chef's knife. And trust me, it is time. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, quietly worked with the Hub Community Kitchen, supporting women after the Grenfell tragedy. She visited privately, built relationships, and helped launch a charity cookbook to fund the kitchen's future. Her approach was hands-on and genuine. No royal fanfare, just real work. But soon the media's focus shifted from her service to her appearance. Headlines obsessed over her hair being worn down while cooking, framing it as a breach of hygiene. The act of volunteering was overshadowed by a manufactured scandal. Instead of celebrating her solidarity, critics dissected trivial details. The kindness of her actions was buried under a wave of petty scrutiny. The story became less about charity, more about finding fault. This relentless focus on the superficial revealed a deeper agenda. Meghan's good deed was twisted into controversy, exposing the media's power to shape perception. Now, consider Catherine, Princess of Wales, baking with Mary Berry for a Christmas TV special. She, too, wore her hair down while preparing food, dressed festively for the cameras. The setting was cheerful, designed for public admiration. Media coverage was glowing, her appearance described as flawless, her actions as charming. No one questioned her hygiene or intent. The same detail, hair down in a kitchen, was ignored or praised. The narrative was one of warmth and relatability. The public was invited to celebrate her, and they did. The contrast is stark similar actions, opposite reactions. For Kate, the kitchen was a stage for praise. For Meghan, it became a battleground for criticism. The double standard could not be clearer. Let's compare the two scenes directly. Both women volunteered in kitchens, both wore their hair down. Meghan, in a working community kitchen, faced harsh criticism for her appearance. Kate, on a TV set, was celebrated for her style and charm. Meghan's practical attire was ignored, Kate's designer dress was praised. The media scrutinized Meghan's every move, while Kate's similar choices were lauded. Intent was twisted. Meghan's service was called performative. Kate's was seen as heartfelt. The hair debate was just a pretext for deeper bias. Two women, same act, but filtered through entirely different lenses. One was cast as an outsider, the other as the perfect insider. The real story isn't about hair. It's about the narratives we construct. The double standard reveals a prejudice that goes far beyond the kitchen. The headlines tell the story. Meghan's visit to the hub kitchen sparked criticism over her hair, overshadowing her charitable impact. Kate's baking special drew praise and admiration, her similar choices never questioned. This pattern repeats. Meghan's actions are framed as controversial, Kate's as exemplary. Even small gestures, like cradling a baby bump, are interpreted differently. Meghan is called performative, Kate maternal. The same act, two narratives, one of conflict, one of grace. This isn't just opinion, it's a documented pattern of biased reporting. The media casts them in opposing roles, the disruptive outsider and the flawless heroine. These stories don't just reflect reality, they shape it, reinforcing the double standard. The question is, why do we accept it? The scrutiny of Meghan's hair was never about hygiene. It was about enforcing who is allowed to be imperfect and who must be flawless. Meghan, as a biracial American, was always seen as an outsider. The criticism she faced was a form of social policing, a reminder that she was being watched. The standards applied to her were harsher, rooted in discomfort with her difference. Kate, fitting the traditional mold, enjoyed freedom and affection. Meghan's every move was questioned. Kate's were embraced. The real issue isn't etiquette, it's about maintaining a hierarchy. The same actions are judged differently, depending on who performs them. The rules are not objective, they're selectively enforced. This exposes the deeper purpose, to control the narrative and reinforce the status quo. It's an old story, played out in a modern spotlight. Despite relentless criticism, Meghan's work endured. The Together cookbook became a bestseller, funding the hub kitchen's future. Her projects, often targeted by scandal, have lasting impact. She continues to advocate for women and important causes, undeterred by media attacks. Her resilience is a powerful statement. She rises above the noise by focusing on what matters. This tale of two kitchens is a lesson in media literacy. It urges us to question the stories we're told and the standards applied. The double standard is now impossible to ignore. Meghan's journey exposes uncomfortable truths about bias and perception. In her Grace Under Fire, she reveals the system's flaws and invites us to see more clearly.